Okay, we have with us for the first time since 2015 the Sweet 16 bound Gonzaga Bulldogs, head coach Lisa Fortier, student athletes Yvonne Ejim and Kaylee Trong. Opening statements, Coach?
I'm just really happy for our players. These guys, they set their own goals, and they want to break all these records and do all these things that people at Gonzaga haven't done before, and you just have to keep reminding them to check them off little by little. And so, if you want to do things we haven't done, we got to go one step at a time, and they played tough today. The second quarter, Utah's a great third quarter team, and they're a really good team anyway, but we wanted to be strong in the third quarter, but our second quarter, it turns out, was a huge decider in the game. And I love how tough our team played when it got rough out there. It got close. I don't know if they cut it to 6 or 5, 7, something like that. 6. Yeah, I don't know. I just know that we came down and made some free throws, and we got the stop that we needed. We got the rebounds. All of a sudden, here comes Eliza and Vonnie on the glass. And so I just love how we covered for each other in every area today, and really proud of our effort. These two and all those guys back in the locker room.
We'll open for questions with the student athletes.
Tim Guthman, Davey. Kaylee, can you kind of walk us through that second quarter, take us through that second quarter a little bit, where it seemed like, I think you guys hit 7 of 8 shots and like 5 straight from 3. Like, what was working so well offensively in the second?
I think we were just moving the ball from one side of the court to the other. We weren't stagnant at all. I didn't feel like it. I felt like I was running through our plays just nonstop. I thought we moved it well too, and just we're very sure not to just get sloppy or casual with it. And once we get multiple touches from both sides, it's hard to defend the court the whole time.
When the game got really close, it seemed like you made every one of them. I think it was 11 or 13. Nerves at that moment, or were you just totally locked in?
Locked in, for sure. I think if anything, closer. Locked in for sure. I think if anything, when I got to the line, like right there in that moment, I said, this is my chance to do something for my team. So I think if anything, completely locked into like what I can provide for my team, and for like free throws, like that's what we practice, that's what we do, and that's how we contribute. Yeah,
I was telling Vonnie, like, if we're not going to score this possession and we get on the free throw line, we got to reward ourselves somehow, for this possession. And I thought we did a really good job of that. We didn't take any of the free throws for granted.
At times, or Josh Rowan, I'm sorry. At times it felt like it was a game of runs. You guys would go on a run, and then Utah would kind of settle in and go on the run. How did you guys kind of keep in focus and in mind, and just kind of making sure that you didn't allow that to kind of keep, piling up?
Yeah, I think if anything, we have a lot of good leaders on our team, and the son right here, I feel like anytime, like, let's say they got a shot in, or we didn't get they got a stop on us and things like that, she's always telling us, like, right here in the moment, right here. And I think just that grounding that we get, especially from, like, Lee and other people on our team, I think it's so important for everyone else to kind of, like, lean into that, because, like, we're each other's supporters, so if we have each other, then, like, we're straight.
Vonnie, talk about the battle you had with Peely out there. You guys are just, you must have left bruises on each other out there.
Probably. It was definitely a physical game down there. I definitely respect her game so much. She's an amazing player, so I'm just happy that I got to fight it out with her today. And I think if anything, like, kudos to her and kudos to the team. They played really hard, but, we're just coming out, playing with a lot of energy and matching their physicality. They brought a lot of physicality, and, like, that's the game that if we have to step up and do that, we're going to do that. So I think we did that well today.
Kaylee, in the third quarter, at one point when you counted 5 straight threes in the second, you had hit the first 3 threes in the third, so 8 straight in a row.
Yeah, the last one in the first.
Last one in the first? Okay, then 9. Okay, thanks. I don't need that for my story. But could you feel the crowd kind of bringing you on?
Oh, 100%. They were locked in as much as we were, you know, that gives us a lot of energy, especially when we're trying to, especially when we're trying to look for some momentum. They're there backing us up, you know, whenever, wherever, whatever play, whatever happens, you hear them nonstop.
Was going up into the stands planned? Tell me about that celebration.
No. I was kind of just like, let's go. I mean, like, the student section, like, they brought it today. Kudos to them. They brought it on, when did we play? Saturday?
Yeah.
So, like, kudos to them. I think I talked about this last time, but, like, just their energy and kind of all the other Zag fans that we have, like, they bring so much energy and encouragement to our game. And, I mean, you got to give them credit for what they do. It's not easy going up there and standing the whole game and cheering people on, losing your voices and things.
You guys are easier to cheer for than you think.
Thanks.
Kevin McCann, Gonzaga Bulletin. This is to both of you, but this is the first time this unit has gotten out of the first weekend. What are some of the things that it took to get here?
I think it started from the jump, right before preseason even started. Like Coach Lisa said, we all came together as a team and we set a standard. We wanted what we wanted, and this was part of one of our goals. So, you know, when I talk about this team all the time, but we were so committed to each other, and you can tell from the practices. Like, I wish y'all can sit in and just see how we go head to head every single time, trying to get each other better. And then when we step on the court, I mean, it makes it, yeah, definitely.
Kaya Crawford, Gonzaga Bulletin. Kaylee, what does it mean for you and the other seniors to get these extra games here in front of your home crowd?
It means a lot. It's very special. We said our goodbye speeches during senior night, but I'm just so grateful that we got another chance to play 2 more games at this home court, because it's nothing like it here, and like, just a lot of gratitude. I keep saying that, but a lot of gratitude. Everyone just showed up for us.
For both of you, there's only 4 programs that have both their men's and women's teams playing in the Sweet 16. Just in the bigger picture of basketball here at this school, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think if anything, like, we go to work here at Gonzaga, we build people, we build players, we build programs that can do what they need to do and get things done. And I think both our men's side and our women's side does a great job of that, and a great job of kind of building their athletes throughout that. And not even just like our sport, but like other sports as well. So kudos to this school. But I think if anything, like, it's just a testimony to the work that we've put in from the get-go. And congrats to the guys. Like, I mean, they're going to the Sweet 16 as well. And I think if anything, you just got to see how we play, and it'll kind of reflect like what Gonzaga's about and what Gonzaga basketball is about.
We have a Zoom call from Lindsay Schnell.
Hey, ladies. Well, Tim stole my question, but let me follow up by asking, I think the guys' team was home. I think that they were there tonight. And just what is it like for you all to be able to support each other? You know, it's unique at the WCC tournament. You get to cheer each other on. How much do you think that helps your programs?
Me? I think if anything, it kind of just like reflects kind of like that connectedness we have between our sports. And I think it's amazing that we have our guys out here cheering for us. I mean, we go to their games sometimes when we're home, and we have the opportunity to during conference and during preseason as well. So I think it's just great to have their support here in the crowd.
Final question for the student athletes.
So throughout this weekend, there's been multiple times where the crowd has just erupted, whether it's a shot or whether it's a rebound or whether it's a block. Do you have a favorite moment when the crowd just went berserk, or when maybe something went right from this weekend?
I don't know when it was, but I think we were on a run or something like that, and there was like a timeout taken, and I was coming in, I literally got a head rush because the crowd was like so loud, you know? Anybody have an Apple Watch and then the like 90 decibels go off? Yeah, mine was at like 250. Like the crowd was like intense in that moment. I don't know exactly what play, but I was literally like, I stopped in my tracks and I was shook. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, like, let's go. Like, and it kind of all just went in me. Like, it fed into my energy too, so.
Yeah, no, I felt like the whole game was just, you could hear the crowd the whole game. But I think one was when we went on our run and then it was a fast break. And Vonnie, you passed it to Liz, I think. And Liz got the and one. Yeah. That was like, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't even hear myself talk to them in the huddle. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, ladies. You are
Thank you,
dismissed.
guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
We'll open now for questions from Coach Fortier. A reminder, if you are on Zoom, to use the raised hand icon to ask a question.
Lisa, your offense has been good at various points this year, but that second quarter, I mean, why was it that good that quarter?
Gosh, I don't know. I think our defense was better than our offense in that quarter. You know what I mean? We've had, for us, a 20-point quarter is pretty regular, right? A lot of teams hope for those kind of things, but we can put 20, 24 together. We've had 32, I think, was our high this season. So we have a lot of offensive firepower. I think that our defense was good because we were getting stops. And so we were playing free and we were playing loose. And, our offense was good because our defense was good. And so I think that feeds into it. And this team, when they buckle down and get a stop, you go in transition, and it doesn't matter how good a transition defense team you have. There's people open places. If you want to take someone away, I've said it all year, it's very difficult. They didn't really double-team Vaughn too much today. They switched the matchup when they didn't like the one matchup for Eliza, I think, more than Vonnie. But it's like, what are you going to do? Because as soon as you try to take away Brenna, they were in her shorts. They were trying hard to keep her off they got other players who can shoot the three. And so that's when Lenny got off loose a little bit. Eliza got a couple at that time. I don't know. Lee made one or two at that time. I don't know who made which ones. But I think that's what it is if you get the stops, then it makes your offense a whole lot better.
You were talking about getting stops. I noticed Utah almost always had a player posted in the corner, the left corner, sagged off that a lot, and other than Pilley, not much you can do there. A lot of offers and one-fers on the score sheet. How were you able to neutralize the other players as successfully as you did defensively?
Well, I mean, Alyssa had a great game, and she's a great player. And we knew that they were going to go to her. You go through the scouting report, and Vonnie was joking about it. They run this, that, and what happens at the end? The ball goes to Alyssa. And then this, that happens, and the ball goes to Alyssa. And they have really good shooters, but we have a similar style of play. We have a player like that, and it seems like the ball goes there, and then either you get scored on or they kick it out to a three-point shooter. But they were trying to just go to Liz today, it seemed like. And so that's why she had 35. But some of those other guys, I think, were not in the flow, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Our focal point defensively was try to not leave anyone on an island on Alyssa. And we didn't. She's just that good sometimes. And so I think that that's part of the reason maybe they weren't in flow. It was going in there. Sometimes it was coming out, but they had to work for it. And I think that we closed out well. So it wasn't like we just double-teamed Alyssa and then gave up, took our chances on those other guys. We were trying to get to them, and we mostly did. So.
If I remember right, I think Utah went on a 13-3 run. They went up by, I think, 7 or so. Was there anything that you had to say to your team in the timeout that they kind of got that rally? Because then I think you guys went on that 21-3 run or whatever it may be that really kind of changed the course of the game.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said exactly. I know that my goal for the game was to kind of be what they needed me to be, and de-escalate and put them in a position to make basketball plays, because they're really good basketball players. They're smart. They're old. They've played a lot of games. They've had the ball in their hands a lot. And so I think at that point we were talking about maybe some help side things. I think we had picked up one foul on Alyssa. They went right in. And then maybe she popped for a 3 or 2. She might have gotten 2 threes right off the bat. And so we wanted to adjust to that. And it's tough to figure out, But I think really it was just trying to steady the moment and make sure that we were okay. No need to freak out. Let's just we're okay.
We have a Zoom call from Lindsay Schnell.
Hi, Lise. First, I wanted to tell you I really like your jacket. You know, so you're going to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2015, but you guys have been such a consistent program. You're the only mid-major left in the women's tournament. On the men's side, we hear people say all the time, the Gonzaga men are not a mid-major. They're so good. They're basically a Power 5 school. Is it time that we start thinking about the Gonzaga women that way too, do you think?
Yeah, we're long past it, Lindsay. I love you too. But I think, it's like when I took over as a head coach, we had to start from scratch again to get back to this point. But we were really not really like a mid-major. We had Courtney Vandersloot here and Heather Bowman here and Tiffany Shives here and Vivian Friesen here, and we made all those runs. And we haven't had a deep one since I've been the head coach. We had one Sweet 16 run. And so it's been some time, but every year we're competitive. Every year we compete with those teams. So yes is the answer. I'd be happy to hear us not be considered in that realm, except for, we also don't care because we're not listening to what everyone else is saying. We're trying to stay in our locker room and, focus on the things that we can control, and we can't control all those other things. But I do appreciate you saying that, and I know that you know the quality of our program, and I think that all the people out there who know the quality of our program probably haven't been calling us a mid-major for a long time.
Thank you.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Yvonne Ejim has been terrific all season, right? And she got hers today. She got 17. But in the first half, 59% of your shots were from behind the arc. Was that a game plan going in, or was that kind of an adjustment from, you mentioned earlier, they were just in Brenna's shorts, and so you looked to other people who were a little bit more open because of that? But game plan or adjustment? I
would say both, maybe. We like to go inside out. We like to have balanced offense. People, every time a recruit or somebody asks me, what kind of offense do you run? I say we run in transition, and we like balance. We need forwards who can shoot it from inside, who can score it from the perimeter. We need guards who can attack. We like people who can shoot it. We'll take the ones who can post up. Like just having a balance and a variety. And so today, we did go to Vaughn quite a bit, but again, she brings attention. So sometimes there was attention that came in there. People dropped or dug in. Otherwise, in some of our continuities that we run, they're coming off ball screens, they're cutting, they're reading each other. And when you have such a veteran group I trust the Trongs to have the ball in their hand against any team, and they're going to make better decisions than I'm going to direct. So just kind of let it go through them a little bit, and it happened to be that we were getting a lot of those threes, and then at a different time we went to Vonnie a little bit more. So I think the balance was the key.
I actually have two questions now based around something you just said. What is it about the sisters that you feel that confident that you don't need to direct them, they just know what play to make out there?
Well, I've basically raised them as my own. They've been here for so long. No, I think that they've been here for a long time, and Kaylee starting in her freshman year, and then they've just logged a lot of minutes, and they've proven that they can make those decisions. So we always say that there's a lot of freedom with understanding in our program. And when you're younger, until you understand what we're trying to get, then we might try to direct you a little bit more. But those guys now, as fifth years, who've logged plenty of minutes and started lots of games and been in lots of big moments, I'm confident that they know what to do, and they're going to do it well. They're going to step up at the right moments. And so I just think they've proven over time that they're capable of those things. And then they trust us. We cover for each other. We lean back and forth. Me and them, Stacy and them, Craig and them. Those guys call more of the offense. Stacy and Craig, and Jordan does more defense. So the three of us are kind of working with those two. But really, they've proven that they can handle it.
And then I know how far you advance in the tournament every year doesn't define what the program is at or the success of it, but it has been 9 years since you've gotten this far. What does that mean to you to get there again?
Yeah, I just think we try, and it's sometimes it's about draw, and sometimes it's about health, and I don't know if Utah was a good draw for us, and we're not healthy, so sometimes it's just the ball goes in the basket when it's supposed to, and you get the stops you need to, and so. If that's what it's about, then I'm really happy for these players. And I'm sorry, I don't remember where you're from. Which paper?
AP.
Okay, so I don't know how familiar you are with our team, but with those guys coming back for their fifth year, they could have all been playing whoever school in the world. And so the four of those super seniors, and you throw Vonnie into that, they came back with passion and something that they didn't have necessarily before. And so I think the part that means a lot is that these guys get to experience it. I've been to quite a few of them, or whatever, 6, I don't know. But they haven't. And it's not about being a head coach or an assistant coach. It's about the players in there getting to experience it. And so that's why it's meaningful to me.
We have a Zoom call from Brenna Green.
Lisa, you're going to be heading into an environment in Portland in which, A, you're the underdog, so people are going to be naturally cheering for you, but B, there's a lot of regionality there. There's a lot of Zags in Portland. Just how much are you looking forward to that?
I think it's great. I'm really excited for us to get down there. It's not a home environment, but I think that we're pretty comfortable in that underdog space. That's what it feels like we are, just because that's who we were built on a little bit here at Gonzaga. And I know the Zags are everywhere, but it's nice to have to only go an hour away and 5 hours in a car, and hopefully Spokane will show up down there too. And I think that the whole thing is going to be exciting. So I think that's great. It's great that we're still playing. It's great that my players made all those baskets. I think right now you could really tell me, hey, your daughter wants to make some cookies when you get home. What's that environment going to be like? And I'm like, it's going to be awesome. Let's do it. Because I'm just happy for them. And I know that we're going to be well supported down there, and it's going to be fun.
One last question for Coach.
Coach,
Another one. This is Lindsay again.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, you always speak very highly of your 4 seniors who came back. What does it mean for you to see them get these extra games in front of that home crowd?
Yeah, I mean, it's like playing on house money a little bit. We came in, we didn't know if this was going to happen when we went down to Vegas after we had senior night. And so they truly, as good as our crowds are throughout the regular season, today was different. And I've experienced it, and I just want them all to experience how loud and how exciting. And it's way better to do this in front of your own crowd than, even upsetting some team that you're on their home of. So just, again, genuine, the joy in the locker room is really special. Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay, you get the last question.
Well, thank you. I have to follow up because Lisa just said something about if her daughter wanted to bake cookies, all them bake cookies. Is this a post-game tradition after you win that you and Quince bake cookies?
I think they can ask for anything right now, right? So don't tell them. But no, it's not a tradition. I just was like, it's 10:15. They should all be in bed, but who cares? Let's do a movie. Let's get ice cream. I don't know. That was what that was alluding to.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
Thanks, you guys.
Congratulations.